welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy, and today we're going to be talking about the future of Overwatch. Now, I have some notes written down, and I kind of just want to run through them and share some of my thoughts about, what's going on in the game, where I think the game is headed, kind of some stuff that I'd like to see, and ultimately just share my thoughts as always. So the first thing I have on my notes are the kind of current events and recent things that have been going on with reports and bans and toxicity overall. And I guess to summarize, I just kind of want to talk a little bit about what's going on, because it definitely, from my perspective, feels like Blizzard is trying to get, I guess what I would say, a bit more serious about things. They're kind of slow rolling their definition of what they think is acceptable and, how the report system should be working and why and who is getting bans. And overall, I think this is all in effort to kind of combat and battle against toxicity in their game. Now, as a disclaimer, I do want to say that I don't think they're done with this, and I don't think that it's been even done very well specifically. So let's talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to try not to spend too much time going on a tangent. The bans that have been going on, there have been multiple kind of bans. A lot of y'all have probably heard about the, the one-trick bans, quote unquote, and then the most recent XQC ban. And it all kind of stems behind toxicity in the game and how the report system is working. So first and foremost, the XQC ban, it's pretty clear he more or less just kind of lost his temper and was reporting people without putting anything valid in there. And in a way, he might have even been reporting people fairly, but he wasn't giving good input. So, from that perspective, kind of abusing the report system, kind of not taking the report system seriously. And I don't necessarily agree that he should have gotten, like a 72-hour ban. I don't exactly know if the ban system is, stacking up because he's been chat banned in the past, but whatever the case may be, that's why he got banned. I'm going to get into the kind of one-tricking argument here in a bit, so I'm just going to put this to the side, and I want to talk about the future of Overwatch esports, more specifically the Overwatch League. So the Overwatch League is going to be starting its preseason on December 6th. I'm super excited. My birthday, the following day, December 7th, is going to be there's going to be 3 matches, and one of the 3 matches is going to be Dallas Fuel versus the Houston Outlaws. And I'm from Texas. I live in Houston, so I'm super excited to watch the 2 Texas teams fight it out on my birthday. And overall, I'm just pretty excited about the Overwatch League because it's a franchising league in esports, something that's never been done before, something that I know they have huge aspirations for, and I'm looking forward to it as my favorite game with the new spectator client, but also I'm looking forward to it as a fan of esports and someone that just wants to see the legitimacy and the kind of real version of esports come to fruition. So really excited about Overwatch esports. I'm excited about, featuring Overwatch World Cups. I'm excited about contenders to see, what organizations and what players kind of rise from the tier 2 of Overwatch esports and eventually make it into Overwatch League. So I think it's going to be really, really cool. Next on my list is the future of competitive. Now, when I say competitive, I mean specifically the competitive ladder. I think the competitive ladder is in a weird space because we're still in that defining time of Overwatch. Now, I hope that in the future that they find a way to get rid of the performance-based SR. I hope in the future they find a way to define what is and isn't acceptable, and I think they're doing that now, or starting to. And I hope in the future, more or less, that Overwatch competitive ladder just feels more serious. I had a game, recently where this guy was just doing nothing but playing Bastion, and he was very vocal and he was working with the team. But I even got to a point in the game where it was just like, hey man, the majority of the team wants you to swap. We feel like we're having a hard time playing around you. And, I know you're communicating and you're working your best, but it just felt like really hard to work with him. And it didn't feel serious. And I even said at one point, I was like, I get that you're playing serious, but you're only half playing serious. You're only half serious because you're not actually doing what you really could to win the game. And he agreed with me, and it was just a little frustrating because I wasn't even that mad. I was just, kind of peeved. I was just kind of ticked off because I was like, man, we all want to win, and I can tell you want to win too. You just don't really want to win. And he agreed with me, and that just kind of frustrated me. So hopefully in the future, whatever changes are coming, whatever things happen with, the report system, hopefully things just feel more serious. People take the game more seriously. I also think at some point in the future, the kind of preferred role or role queue system is going to be inevitable. I don't know exactly how long it'll take for Blizzard to get there, or if it actually really will happen, but from my perspective and looking at how the current, matchmaking and competitive ladder works, I just feel like we're always going to be headed that direction, and eventually we're going to have to find some kind of a system that works in that way. Now, I want to talk about the future of one-tricks. I'm going to try to keep this pretty brief, but I want to go on ahead and say that I think the one-tricking era is slightly coming to an end. I think that by definition from Blizzard, slowly, and I hope that they do make a firm stance on this or make a firm statement on this, I think that by definition, the moment that a team decides that their one-trick player is no longer being a valuable asset, I think that is when one-tricking becomes unacceptable and steps into the nature of non-cooperation and poor teamwork. And overall, that happens very quickly. As soon as you see you have a one-trick that's not favorable, then you can identify the fact that this is non-cooperation. So across the board, to blanket statement and say, one-tricking is no longer allowed and that's a bannable offense, that's not really true, because we can always split up the one-tricks between the very niche heroes and the very, meta heroes. And I think if you're going to one-trick a meta hero, you're probably going to be fine. And I think that's a little hypocritical, but at the same time it's not, because as long as you're being cooperative and the team is fine with your pick, then it doesn't matter. But the game is all about teamwork and cooperation, so if you're not being one of those people, then you're not helping the team, and ultimately you're a hindrance on the competitive ladder. So that's just my thought. The last thing I wanted to touch on is the future of content. I love Blizzard. I love what they create. I'm looking forward to the kind of Blizzard crossover skins, and I just can't wait to see what they come out with. So we have a new map on the way, we have new skins on the way, and ultimately we will be getting new content and new patches and new things in the future. So overall, I'm excited about the future of Overwatch. I can't wait for Overwatch League. I'm excited to see what the evolution of all this reporting, banning, and toxicity changes are, and I hope that the future of the competitive ladder is just much more serious and real feeling. So those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate you for checking out this video. Please do not leave out leaving a like, and I'll see you on the next one.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel the fire inside of me? Do you see the sparks that I'm setting free? Does the beat take you over?